Stargate, specifically Stargate SG-1. If you've ever seen that show, I highly recommend it. There's 10 seasons of it, if you're into science fiction. Anyway, there is a alien creature on there called a Goa'uld larva. And I think I'd like to try making a fishing lure, part wood, part silicone rubber. That would not be like a Goa'uld larva, because that would be too difficult and it would probably scare the fish away. But it would incorporate this hook, which is a larger one with a long shaft, which I don't use too much because the short shaft, which I usually use for crankbaits. It would look formidable. And I've never used silicone before, so let's give this a shot. This line is 6 inches long. Now I've ordered some silicone skirt material that's 5.5 inches long. The shank on this hook is about 1 inch from here to where the hook starts to curve. I expect that I'm going to be embedding the hook in some wood. I'm not going to let it stick out on the end. I'm going to work something else up for that. So 6 inches to start off with should be plenty big, and it's big enough for a lure I'm fishing anyway. And it gives me a little added space to sort of work the wood in here, because I don't know exactly what size I'm going to have it yet. So the goal is to have 2 hooks, to have a solid end of the lure here, and then have the silicone skirt streaming in this way, not bulging and not big, just streaming. And then I'm going to take some of this flexible steel leader, and I'm going to connect the two in here so that everything here will be able to move behind the solid head. And I haven't exactly decided how I want to do this. A Goa'uld larva actually has a mouth sort of like this that kind of opens up. But I'm not going to make anything that looks like that. It would be impractical for a lure. But I do want something that's a little streamlined that will hold that hook. And also the hook, when it's in here, the barbs will stick out. They won't be too close to the wood. I want them exposed so that the fish will be able to get to them. So let's see here. Let's draw some kind of a profile. And the profile on the bottom down here is going to be a little bit larger in the belly because I want to put some weight in here for 2 reasons. One, so the lure will sink, but also to keep it sort of upright. This side's going to be kind of darker and this side's going to be lighter on the bottom. So in here, I think we'll have room for 2 or 3 1/4-inch steel ball bearings. I could put some lead in there, but I think the ball bearings would work good. They're not going to be for rattling at all, just for weight, just for ballast. So I think I'll take this, taper it a little bit. I think I like that a little bit better. And we will see the hook. We'll embed in here. I do want it closer up to the wood, so I don't want to bring it through though. So I think I'll extend this. Now, I could make this out of some kind of resin or something, but you know, all I've been doing is working with wood on these lures, so I guess that's going to have to do. It will be resin coated at the end, so it'll give it some strength that way. I also want to make a small disc that's curved, sort of shield shaped like this, to go in the hook. So when the silicone streamers come out, they will flow outwards a little bit before they taper back in. Well, I roughed it out, cut it out and roughed it out. Boy, it's not very big. It's going to be much fun to work with. The hook will set in here like... So, this is what I've got so far. I've got the head made, and I have this black spacer along the back, the holes drilled. This will fit in here. Hopefully the silicon fibers, the skirt, will go into this hole and come out around this black washer. Here's the carved head, roughly carved. A couple of holes for ballast, which I will put in later. Stainless wire that's hooked up to the hook comes out on this end. This is a thin metal leader that will have this hook on it. So what I think I'll do is I will dip this in a little sealer and call it a night. Let me pull this out so you can see. So, I've got these silicone strands that are used for jig head skirts, but I am going to tie them onto this hook full length. Well, I've tied these yellow strands onto the bottom, but now I've got a little bit of this flash silver that I'm going to tie over the top a little and then fold it back. Pretty light stuff. On. And do I dare try to tie on a little bucktail? Oh boy. So what we've got here is a large treble hook with some silicone strands. There's a kind of a purple reddish, and on the underside of the hooks it's kind of a yellow reddish. I've got some red bucktail over the top. Right on the end of that is my wire leader, where my trailing hook will be tied onto. Looks kind of a mess now. I hope it looks better in the water. Yes, I know it's strange. I've taken it, attached this stainless wire to the hooks, and now we'll insert it So, now to do some painting of the head. A little bit of gold. Someone asked in the last video what I used to make the scales over. Well, I used some screening, but I also picked up this, what do they call it, a loofah, a scrunchie, at the dollar store. It's got fine netting, but if you stretch it tight, it actually does a very, very good job. I don't need much here. Well, I've got this all, I guess you'd say, loofed up. The mesh over it with the alligator clips to them, kind of hold it tight. And I've got this violet fluorescent paint. It'll be good on the top and a little bit down along the sides. Put a little detailed sepia, just kind of brownish, along the top. Still keeping the scale pattern on. The scales to show all the way around. And then finally, a little black. The big reveal. That is pretty cool. Looks very snake-like. Now for the eyes. I want the ones that came out largest and roundest and reddest. I think this is one of them. Just need a tiny bit. Okay, let's get one final coat of resin on here. Well, it is done. And it came out pretty nice. I wouldn't mind making a regular fish bait lure or something like this. These colors, I really like them. And I've taken the loop from the leader, put it over the hook and through the hook's eyelet, and then a little resin to lock it in place. And a side view with the eyelet wired in place on the nose. Well, I don't know if it's going to catch any fish, but it was certainly fun to make, and I kind of like the look of the way it came out. I fish a lot of hard baits, a lot of crankbaits. I don't use stuff like this much. So I'll be anxious to try it, see if it does anything. I don't. Anyway, a Goa'uld. Check out Stargate SG-1. You might like it.